Hello and welcome back, guys. So today is going to be a little check-in video for the middle grade march that I am taking part in. It is the second week of March and I am doing really well because if you guys remember, if you had watched my middle grade march announcement video, I had talked about how I wanted this to be a challenge that I actually finish. Because I always try to join these kind of things and then I never complete them. I never complete them. And I want to complete one. And so I think I'm doing really good so far. So if you guys remember, there's only 5 prompts. And of those 5 prompts, I have read 3 of those books so far. And so let's look at them. So the first one was The Remarkable Inventions of Walter Mortensen. This ended up being 5 stars, you guys. This was so good. So absolutely, I was blown away by this. It tackles the subject of death so well. And it's not steampunky as I thought it was, and it doesn't really focus on the inventions that Walter puts together, which was probably the only letdown that I had through the whole book. But it really is more so about following this journey he goes on to meet this other inventor and his mother trying to protect him. The story very much follows Walter and his mother at the same time, and the intersection of him trying to follow his dreams and wanting to be an inventor, and her trying to protect him from being an inventor because she believes inventing is what made her lose her husband, Walter's dad. And so you see them both go through this journey. You see the struggle that they have with each other. And then you also get to meet Walter meets a friend along the way. And her story is absolutely heartbreaking. And it's just, like I said, it touches on the topic of death. And, I think that's an important subject that a lot of kids need to have introduced to them. I am not the kind of person who thinks children should be shielded from death. I think they should know about it and learn about it. That way it's not something that would be super shocking and traumatizing for them. And so I think seeing it in a book is definitely something that can be helpful. But this was just absolutely stunning. I will say there are moments in it where it reminded me of that movie Meet the Robinsons. Just with the way the characters act and the way the story unfolded, it just very much gave me those vibes sometimes. But definitely absolutely gorgeous story, and I'm kind of glad that I just grabbed it on a whim from Book Outlet one day. The second one I finished and that one was the prompt name in the title. This one is the second book in the Wingfeather saga, Norther Be Eaten. This is the siblings prompt, and I'm really struggling with this series. I don't know if it's a good chunk of it is the content. There's just the Christian belief stuff is very heavy in this one. Definitely has a lot of heavy-handedness in this one. I also just want to say I always find it so funny when Christian writers try to not use the word magic. Because at one point something happens in the book and the brother's like, oh my god, is it magic? And the mother's like, no, it's a gift from the maker. And I'm just like, magic's not a bad thing, guys. It's okay. It's okay. I just find it so funny how they try to just really skirt around that word when it's it's magic. It's magic that's happening. But this one, it just kind of felt like the same thing kept happening over and over again. It felt like we kept seeing the same scenes over and over again. I also found it quite odd that Janner just kind of accepted his position as throne warden like that. It feels very far-fetched and unbelievable for a boy who wanted to travel and explore the world to learn that his place is to stand by his brother at all times and not have a life of his own, and he just accepts this. It felt like it happened too fast for a 4-part series. 4-part series. And so I'm and then the sister still kind of has no purpose. Like, we find out she's a song maiden, but like, what is the purpose of it? There's no explanation into it. There's no diving into it. I did lose a lot of respect for their mom when she tried to excuse her father from the consequences of his actions. And that would be Grandpa Poto, who I still don't like. Still don't like that man. Okay, I actually hate him even more, especially with the whole not wanting to face the consequences of their actions. Like, for a book that's supposed to like teach kids how to like be there for each other and be a part of our family, I think it's a weird message to be like, but it's okay if they've done bad things and they say I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm sorry isn't enough for what you've done. Like, I'm just gonna be real. Sometimes saying I'm sorry I did a bad thing is not enough. And what Poto did, saying I'm sorry, is not enough. So I'm definitely, there's just these things that just keep cropping up that is making it very hard. I'm also finding that I don't really care for the audiobook narration, which is narrated by the author. Like, he does voices for all the characters, but then when he's just narrating, it sounds like he's bored with his own story. So I'm gonna try reading the third book, like, by myself, like physically reading it instead of listening to it, to see if maybe that will change my trajectory, and then maybe something different will happen in the third book. But I don't know. I'm gonna keep going because I own the whole set. So yeah, that's definitely my least liked book that I've read so far this month. And then the third one, I actually just finished it the other day, was My Diary from the Edge of the World. This was for the prompt, a book on the cover, and she's holding her little diary down there that she's like writing about their grand adventure. I will say this felt a little bit longer than what it needed to be. It is like 415 pages. And it does kind of feel like it drags a little bit. But the whole point is like following the journey of this family who is trying to escape they're trying to escape a cloud that is chasing them, and that cloud is going to perform a specific act. And so like the family is trying to see if they can escape from this cloud to get away from it so that they don't have to face the inevitable. And so you follow them on this journey to find the extraordinary world. They live in a world where everything that is fantasy to us is real to them. So there's Sasquatches, there's Yetis, there's unicorns, there's mermaids, and in their world, you know, it talks about how the magical creatures are kind of taking over and humans are finding less and less space. It's also flat. Their world is flat, unlike ours that is round. And so they go on this journey to escape this cloud to find the extraordinary world, which is our world, the regular, the mundane world. And they learn all kinds of different things along the way. It very much kind of like at points focuses in on the dad and how the dad is just so kind of out there. Like, he believes so hard in this extraordinary world that he kind of forgets to pay attention to everything that is around him and that is in front of him in that moment. And so that's kind of an interesting kind of take to like follow along with. And so, yeah, you just follow the journey of this family trying to escape the inevitable and then realizing that they cannot escape it. And so it does get a little emotional there towards the end, especially when you find out what they thought was going to happen to somebody else. And I will say the only thing that did strike me a little bit odd was the fact that they essentially kidnapped a foster child. Like, he ran away from his foster family and like stowed away in their Winnebago. And then they just kind of was like, yeah, you can go with us. And I'm like, isn't that technically kidnapping? Like, isn't that technically kidnapping? So that was probably like, I think out of the whole book, that was probably like the weirdest aspect, considering everything was considered real. It's a really pretty story, but I will say it does feel like it goes on for too long. And it's just because like the author was like really kind of exploring this world and having them go places and meet people and see things, because the story really is about this one big final journey that the family is taking together. So still a good book, still has a really sweet message at the end. I did see someone on Goodreads say like, is it supposed to be an allegory for suicide? And I'm like, no, it's kind of like to me, it was more like talking about how some things you can't escape no matter how hard you try. And so you have to come to terms with that, and you have to accept that that is unfortunately going to be the outcome, whether you like it or not. Like, I think that person was not understanding what they were reading, because it's definitely not like an allegory for suicide. Like, it's not. So those are the 3 that I've read so far. I'm going to be starting Mice of the Round Table next, which is for the prompt BIPOC author. And then afterwards, I will have the List of Unspeakable Fears, which is for the historical fiction one. And after that, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish both of these this week, considering how short this one is, it'll probably take me and honestly, the font is pretty big and there's some art throughout it. I honestly feel like this one will take me a day if I just sit down and read it. So I definitely know I'll be finishing both of those this week. And then after that, I kind of want to just dive into some of the other middle grade books I have on here. So just to kind of give an idea of what I'm thinking. You're in the wrong pile. I've read you. I have a bunch of book piles around me, okay? I've also read that one too. Why is... Excuse me real quick, guys. Okay, so I think the piles are correct-ish now. Yeah, because there's that one. So just to see what some ideas could be, there's this one, If We Were Giants, by Dave Matthews. Yeah, from the Dave Matthews Band, that guy. And Cleet Barrett Smith. It's got some really cool art on the inside, some little art there. And then there's this one, A Tear in the Ocean. Yeah, it's a companion to A Crack in the Sea, which I think I have that one. If I don't, then I'll just get it from the library, or I might skip this one for now. But then there's this one, The Prodigious Pawn, by Alyssa Wishingrad. It's I picked this one up solely for the cover. I was just I don't know anything about it, and I still don't, because I don't read synopsises, and then I have this one. It's a self-published duology. I think it was supposed to be a trilogy, but I don't think the author ever ended up finishing the series, honestly. And then let's see, what else is there? I'm missing the third one for that. Oh, hold on, guys. There's this one, Scavengers. I started this one 2-3 years ago, and I was really enjoying it. And then my life went horrible, and I stopped reading it. And then I have this, Bulbasaur. These two, they're companion books. So I have a feeling these ones will definitely be a big contender, because they don't look very big, and then it's a set, so I'd be able to get those ones out of here, and then maybe The Wolf's Curse, So I have lots to pick from. That's not even all of them, but I'm definitely thinking that once I finish the prompt ones, I'm just gonna kind of read whatever I have middle grade wise, since the goal is to move the middle grades out of the collection eventually. And so I just want to really see how many I can get through. There was one year, I think it was back during COVID, I read 30 middle grade books. That's literally a middle grade book a year. And granted, that was possible due to the fact that I wasn't working because of COVID and everything. So I had a lot of free time. I don't have that so much anymore, because I do work 5 days a week, but they're short, they're middle grade books. They don't take long to get through. So I don't know. I'm hoping that I can get through a good chunk of them. I did, though, start The Silent Patient by Alex Michelangelo something. I don't remember what his last name is. My brain wants to say Michelangelo, and that is not it. But it's in that realm. I'll put the picture up. I have the book. It's just all the way over there, and I don't want to go grab it. But it is actually my coworkers, and 3 of my coworkers have read this book, and they're all just like, Alyssa, you should read it because you love books, and we could talk to you about it. So I did start that one. So that one is probably going to be I don't know if it's going to be the only adult book I read this month, but we'll see. My main focus is definitely the middle grade stuff, but this is where I'm at right now. I think I'm doing splendidly good on this challenge. I really, really strongly believe that I will be able to finish all 5 of my prompts, considering I only have 2 left. And then it's just kind of a free read for whatever middle grade books I want to read from the collection. So yeah. I know this isn't like everybody's jam who watches my channel, but if you watch it to the end, thank you. I appreciate it. I do have a love and a soft spot for middle grade. And if you've never read middle grade, I highly recommend that you give it a try, because they have some of the most gorgeous stories out there. And if, I don't know, maybe if you guys are interested in like me putting together like a top 10 favorite middle grade stories, like let me know if you guys be interested in that, because I could totally put one of those together. If you guys are like wanting to try it and you need some recommendations, like let me know. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you guys hadn't realized, I am now posting on Wednesdays. That is going to be my day. I seem to get better traction on Wednesdays, and I like that. And it kind of happened by accident. So I'm gonna stick with it. So let's just see if that continues working for me. But yeah, so until next time, like, comment, subscribe, all of those good things. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.